I have her sit before I open the gate. And then I'm going to step out. Just do this at every boundary. You'd be amazed how beneficial this is. Okay, for her just to learn how to focus at a higher level, which in turn makes her calmer, more confident, all of that, really important. And we have the curb right here. And then we have her sit. And then you don't have to do this, but for the training, I practice a sit stay where I'm gonna walk around her both ways. You don't have to do this, but maybe you should do it just for the first couple of weeks that she's back with you. Just have her sit at every curb and do the whole walk around sit stay from both ways, all the way around, and then come back next to her. Okay, walk her across the street. Always do this part. You don't have to do the walk around her forever, but make sure she waits, and then always reinforces calm, not pulling you across the street because she's on the clock until you get to the other side. Sit, and then here, nope, make sure she waits. Loose leash, go. Tap her chest and say go, like that. And now she's free, and the walk can be just her being free. Your main focus on the walk is to keep the leash loose, and it's either like this, you tap the leash and she'll stop pulling, or come back to you if you back away, or come, call her back to come to you. Good, and see how I grab the left with my left hand, grab the leash, sit, and if you wanted to do this periodically every couple minutes on your walk, go, and then set her free again. You want to intersperse a little bit of structure in your walks. You don't want her just doing a half an hour walk or whatever you work up to doing later on. You don't want her to be pulling you and her mind not being engaged to think throughout the walk. So it's just a simple thing. Call her back to come to you. She's got a great recall, and do a little sit stay, then release her. If you want, you can do that sit stay and do a walk around her both ways, then release her, like what we do at the curbs. And always just make sure you're keeping this leash loose, because a tight leash creates overstimulation in the dog and overexcitement and anticipation. And if you're feeling anxiety because you don't want her to go over to see a dog or somebody, or you have to avoid a homeless person or something like that, she'll feel your anxiety and your nervousness through the leash, and it'll make her in turn more nervous, and that's her whole issue, being fearful and nervous at times. So keep it relaxed. If you need her to come to you, come, call her back to you. Good girl. Step into her, get her out of there, get her away from that, whatever that distraction is. Move behind a car, and they go past on the other side, or whatever that physical block is, go up somebody's driveway. That would help too, until that distraction passes by. Just use your surroundings, and it's just kind of common sense. Get out of the way, and then come back and have her sit and go, and she's free, and continue your walk. But keep that leash loose at all times. Excellent. Here we go. Sit, bring her up to the mat when you're doing this exercise. She sits and waits. Always a loose leash, of course. And if she wants to go, because she loves her mat, if she wants to go, you tap her, just like that. She waits until you actually go. Tap her chest and say go. You walk over with her, you say down. And I would have said down, but I was talking to you. She's going to go down anyway, because it's the only thing she does on this mat. You step out in front of her. Always say the command though. Don't just let them do, or her do, what she feels like at the moment. Good. You start to lose a bit of power if you're never telling her to sit or down, like at curbs and doorways and things like that, because over time it would just kind of fall apart. Even if she's doing it automatically, you still say it at the same moment. Then it works really well in a situation she's not familiar with, in a new place with new people or something like that. So always say the command. This little downstay thing we do 5 minutes a day. We practiced it at your house already. You see how I do it. I just wanted to put it on the video. You can do all kinds of things like applying pressure to the leash. Good. Every time she has success, she gets a reward if she pops up, which that's not going to make her pop up. Good. Whatever, if she does pop up, if you're able to do something, and she's got such a great stay, I don't think there's anything that would make her pop up right now in this yard, at least. You just stay calm, you say no, you step into her, Do a little left circle thing you saw me doing out on the street and at the boundaries. Put her back, make sure she has a success, and then she only leaves this mat when you come back next to her. Just like the sit stay, she only leaves that sit stay, and the down stays the same way when you come back to her and release her in that one specific way. Okay, with the mat, you say, okay, come on, sweetie. Sit, you lead her off the mat, have her sit, and then with your right hand, pat her chest and make sure she waits. She's still got this little kind of a panic kind of thing where she anticipates and she loses her sit stay. Make sure she waits. And pat her chest and say, go. Now she's free. Go. There you go. Screening routine. Sit. We walk up to the person that we're going to have her greet. She waits there in a sit stay. We step over, give him something really high value, because they can be, both your dogs, Daisy and Rosie, can be kind of afraid of some people at first. So we're doing this a lot with a bunch of different people. He has like chicken breast or something like that. In this case, it's dog treats, but you're going to use a high value reward. Go say hi. He goes over. They just offer it to her. She takes it, and I say, come. And they may get spooked. She might get spooked. Sit by somebody trying to pet her. So just for a while, send her over, and just the person, just going, approaching somebody, accepting a gift like that, and then you call her to come, that's going to start making her feel safer and safer with every person you practice with. You can also throw in a little sit stay like that before you send her over. Always do this on neutral territory. Never do it, never have a stranger come into your house. Always bring her out. You have a big front yard. Make sure you're on pavement, not on grass or stickers or whatever. You know, there's stickers in the grass. And do this in an open, neutral area, never in the house, because that could make them more insecure. Go, meeting a stranger in the house. The worst way to do it. Come, see what I'm doing? Just calling her back. Good, and practicing that recall. Sit, just the way you've seen us do it in the other parts of the video. Left hand leash, send him over. You can pet her now. Look, you drop treats on the ground. So you got left hand leash, right hand reward. Come, she comes back to you, make sure that, good, her nose touches your hand, it opens up, she gets the treat, your left hand grabs that leash, you have her, and it's all good. Just practice this. Practice it with family members first. Practice this greeting routine. And if you designate a spot to meet new people, like in the driveway or someplace like that, that's where you're going to practice with people she does know. When you plug in a stranger, she'll just think, oh, this is what I do here, and this person must be okay. Have somebody that she knows, maybe a family member, stand next to her. Sit. So I walked her up to the crate. Door's always closed. I have her sit. I'm gonna open the door, and then I'm gonna say, go. She's gonna go in, turns around, I give her a little treat, and I take off her collar that you sent her with this prong collar. It's a big prong collar. If we're gonna use a prong collar, we're gonna use the smaller ones that are way less offensive in a lot of ways, and actually the tiny kind that I use all the time are better for training, but right now we have this one that you sent her with, and we did the video with that collar as well, but I'm going to try to talk you into using the small little tiny one that we use on all the dogs. So you take that off, you hang it on the door, and her routine in my house has been in the crate and then outside constantly throughout the day. She might be out every hour and a half. Every time she comes out, she's out for 20 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes. Usually there's 2 long times during the day as well over an hour, especially at night. Last time out, everybody gets to stay out for a long time. And she eats her meals in there. She gets Bones and Chewies in there. You have 2 dogs, and Daisy's coming after her, but we're gonna send her home first. And the crate for them is primarily just to keep everything separate so that they can have their Bones and Chewies and their food, and they never start to guard each other away from their bones, and they're eating in their crates next to each other, but they're still separate, so nothing bad can happen. Not that anything was happening in the beginning, but over time you can transition out of that if you want. The crates are, they both love their crates. These scared, insecure dogs love to isolate in the crates. So why not just use this to our advantage, have it be the safe place place for them, which they kind of already feel like it is. It's a way to manage them. If you ever want to travel with them, they love their crates, just keep using it. Use a real crate, a plastic crate that a dog carrier like this, you can take them on. It's so much easier to deal with than a wire cage. But it's lighter, more convenient, easier to clean, I believe, as well. So you have these two dogs in there side by side, and we are handling them both the same way. Using the crate routine where she sits and waits to be allowed in there, and then she waits to be allowed to be brought out, it just helps you in your overall project of stabilizing her, because if you're controlling her access in and out of her den, which that's what she perceives it as, she's going to be way more likely. Good girl. See if they don't burst out, give them a little treat. Why not? That's what we've been doing here. So she knows that she waits until I reach in, and you'll get so good at this. You probably are good at it now that you don't have to look at it and just do it by feel. Make sure that little prong collar is right below the ears. It's the highest collar up, and it's never too tight, like really tight. It's just lightly touching all the way around. But if you add a link and it's too loose, then it could damage her because it'll be kind of sticking her. So just make sure it's just lightly touching all the way around. You see the way we're using it in the training video. So if you're doing this with her, which is actually a training exercise, okay, see how she waits for my permission to come out? She's going to be a lot better at doing other things with you. She's more likely to come when she's called and do the other training, because it's a full system. She has to wait for your permission to go in and out of her favorite place in life, and just adds to her changing her perception of you, and feeling safe because you're calling all the shots. And overall, that's just a good thing with the training and with her ever-growing new self-confidence.